Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another spectacular episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. I'm your host, that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. 4 continents down, 2 more to go. No cap, straight facts. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about me. See, we have a special guest tonight. This man is a 10-plus-year veteran in professional wrestling, kicking ass and taking names in the great state of Georgia. Shout out to the great folks in Georgia. Love that peach cobbler. Love that fried chicken. This man has actually faced several great opponents, and we're going to get into that later on. But he's also a two-time Deep South Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Everybody, welcome to the show, straight from Skrilla, Skrilla The Great. How you doing tonight, sir?
Thank you for having me, bro. But that intro is immaculate, brother.
I try, man. I always tell people it's a bit of Justin Roberts and the Road Dogg. I yell at the top of my lungs, and hopefully I sound good. You know what I'm saying?
100%, 100%.
Yeah, man. So I gotta say, man, when I first saw you on the show with that when I had Brian Blaze on, it was a couple weeks ago. I was like, yo, this guy seems cool. This guy, I saw your match against Draco Starks. I'm like, yo, this man don't take no lefts, man. Just straight rights he's giving. I'm like, yeah, we got to have this guy on the show, man. So, yeah, how have things been lately, man? Since that banger of a show you had,
Man, it was just beautiful to be a part of it. I mean, Nick Namath and Alexander Lev was for the title, and we were kind of the undercard. But man, just to be in there with that guy, he's got the history with the people everybody know about, and just being able to showcase my talent to them people continuously is an amazing thing, man. So I never take it for granted. However, I always step up to the plate like I'm gonna knock it out the park every time. So
yeah, I saw that, man. I mean, sometimes I've heard some people saying, "Oh man, this person worked for WWE. I'm kind of nervous. I don't want to mess up because you never know. WWE might be watching them to see how things are going with them, and they're obviously going to be seeing me too. So I don't want to mess up." But you just stepped up, and you had the crowd going for you. You had that crowd, and this is no shade to Draco. He's probably watching us right now. I know he liked our post on Instagram.
Yeah.
But they were like, I heard the Skrilla chants. I was like, yo, this crowd is really behind this guy, man. Like, they know what it is and what's up.
I mean, when it comes to Georgia wrestling, they know how hard I fought for what I had, and a lot of people say I fell off or I'm forgotten or I'm forbidden fruit, whatever they want to use. When I step up, I mean, they feel it. And people can just relate to that story. Everybody going through something right now. Everybody feel like they can't make a comeback. So I feel like I'm the walking billboard of a comeback. And I had to show it against Draco, man, and just let them know that you're the young, flashy guy. You can bring it. You can almost make me tap out, but you're gonna have to kill me almost to make that happen. And now I'm unk status, so I had to let these boys know how to cook it up if they're gonna try to cook it up like that. So
Right. Yeah, definitely let them know. So I gotta ask you, man. I normally ask, pretty much 99% of our, guests that we have on the show, just to give our viewers and listeners at home a bit of a backstory. How did it all start for you? How did it all come together with you becoming a wrestling fan that's tuning in every day, every week, every month, and so on?
I mean, pretty much everybody's story. It started when we was young, man. But I found it. I just kind of stumbled across of it at 8 years old, and it kind of stayed. But life be lifing, and it took a back seat. I was doing the music thing for a minute, but the opportunity presented itself. It wasn't the prettiest opportunity in the world. It was very ugly. It was in the backyards, and that's forbidden fruit in this business. So, like I said, my story is kind of just showing people it can happen. And I didn't know it was going to happen, but it did. And now here we are at 12 years. And all those mistakes that I did make, it kind of told my story. Like you said, when you're in front of those guys, you like, oh man, I can't make no mistake. But that, I think that makes you even better to have the ugly beginnings to show them what your future holds.
Right.
So I mean, nothing's perfect. Even when you practice, there's always something to learn. And even like I said, even at 12 years, I'm learning that. So I think that's why, not so much that I got demoted, but it's just to show these young guys that are coming up now, like, you think it's a game. Well, I'm gonna have to show you how the game go. And I remember being that guy. I hated that I was gonna eventually get to this point to where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be that old head that's saying the same thing that I'm saying right now. But here we are. And like I said, I'm leaning into the character. This is what you want to put me there. But I'm gonna show you how I got here in the first place. So it's never been traditional, and I'm not afraid to continue my rhyme scheme, if you will. You might know what's coming, but you don't know the next punchline. So it is what it
Right.
is.
Yeah, I think that everybody, we all get to that point. So whether it's wrestling or even life in general, like you always get to that. When you're young, oh, your parents, your mom and dad, they tell you something like, "Man, what you talking about, man?" But then when you get older in life, and you get to that age, it's like, wow, I never thought I'd be doing the same thing, saying the same thing they're doing. So
Absolutely,
it
absolutely.
happens, man. It definitely happens. You know. So you're saying the backyard wrestling is forbidden fruit. Do you think that's changed in the last like decade since you've become a wrestler, or has it been the same thing? Because if you look at it, you got people like CM Punk. He started
Yeah,
off as a backyard guy,
yeah,
and now he's he's WWE former champion. You
yeah,
got who's the other guy? Fuego del Sol.
yeah,
He started off that way. Now he's, I mean, he was signed to AEW, but now he's doing his thing on the indies, still getting booked a lot.
yeah.
Like, would you say it's
You
getting?
got you got Seth Rollins. I mean, he had a
Yeah.
game. Mick Foley, the Hardy Boys. I mean, you can name some names that have made a name for themselves. Um, but in Georgia wrestling, it's a little different. It's kind of cookie cutter. And so at the end of the day, when you making your own plate, you gotta cook it up a little different. And I just kind of ran with the opportunity I got. I mean, it wasn't the best one in the world, but I wouldn't change it for the world. And so it's just learning that part of it, knowing that it's not gonna come to me like how it's coming to everybody else. I think that's the underdog story that continues to migrate around Skrilla the Great, and people just hate it because they feel like I should be that dynasty team that everybody should be tired of seeing now. But I always got something to fight for.
Oh yeah. So you obviously you were able to level up yourself from the backyard scene to the indie scene. You're wrestling at different venues now,
Yeah,
but you know one of the greatest achievements I've seen. You were actually able to, and not too long ago, become a two-time Deep South Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Deep South, former WWE developmental territory.
yeah,
Many people have actually held that title. As a matter of fact, Deep South, they go as far back as the 80s when you had the first champion, Wildfire Tommy Rich,
yeah,
holding that championship. You've had people like Ranger Ross. You've had more modern day people like, Xavier Woods or Austin. I guess you might go by Austin Creed now, who has
yeah,
held that championship. You managed to actually, first time you got it, it was, you captured it, I believe, through a tournament. It was vacant at the time. Narcissism, who is a veteran in his own right and also a rapper as well. He did the music thing. He got that. He was able to take it away from you for like a brief while, and then
yeah,
you got it back, and
yeah,
then you held it for roughly 225 days. So
yeah.
what was your thought process when you got that win the first time, and then the ref said, and the winner and new DSW heavyweight champion, Skrilla the Great.
Man,
What was your thought process getting that championship, the same championship that's been held by Wildfire Tommy Rich and Xavier Woods. It's now resting in your hands.
I mean, you can't forget the Miz either.
Oh, the Miz too, yeah.
Yeah. And once the opportunity presented itself, because I mean, I was Shane Falco. I was a replacement. So I
Oh, okay.
wasn't.
Oh, you taking me back? Well, yeah, that was a good movie, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wasn't one of the starters, and so I had a lot to work for as far as being one of the pieces to the puzzle of Deep South Wrestling, and I worked hard for it. And Najee was the guy, um, and I kind of took Deep South by storm, and he was like, kind of the situation I was with Draco. It was Najee was like, hey, okay, Skrilla, calm down a little bit. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm the guy around, and I work for. I continue to keep going. Um, just being in those matches with him, the I Quit match with Nick Patrick being the last ref match that he had. It was a lot of chips on the table. I was like, man, this is something that's prestigious, and I'm just in a position to where I can really cash in. So we get to the tournament, and Nick Patrick, in his fashion, he raised the stakes, and he brought in Eric Bischoff, and he was the guy that was going to present the title to whoever won, along with Teddy Long and Robert Gibson, all in the building at one time. The stakes were high, the pressure was hard, and I really had to bring it. Not to mention, I had to win 3 matches to get to the championship match. So it was just a lot, bro. But to really get to the end of that match, hear the announcer say my name, the ref hold my hand up, and the fireworks going off. It was life changing, bro. That's one of those moments you can't really duplicate, even if you tried. But yeah, I took pride in it, and Eric Bischoff handed off the title, and I started my reign. Naja came back and slowed me up because I got ahead of myself. I was a little Hollywood, so I was off my game. But then we came back around, and I made it happen again. And it's just man, it's beautiful. Now we're tied 2 up. Now Naja the hoochie daddy now he turned into the hoochie daddy. Now he's 2-time champion, and it's just, man, it's a lot. It's cool to be back. Just to see the new faces. You got Alex Kane, you got Deion Summers. There's so many guys. Ryan Rembrandt, Tyson Maddox, Mims from NWA. There's so many different faces from when I was there. So I think it's cool for me again because I got something to fight for. It's different faces in the room, and I'm an old head to that room, but to some of those guys, I'm new. So that's what makes it cool about that too. What happened? I can't hear you.
I forgot how to add it on mute because I had some background noise going on.
All good.
But yeah, the Georgia wrestling scene, y'all got a. I was telling Brian Blaze this the other day. Y'all got a rich scene down there, man. I got some heavy hitters. Like I saw you even wrestle against some of the guys we had on. We had Parker Lee, Aaron Dallas, Duncan Mitchell. I was like, wow, it's a small world, man. And y'all had one of my favorite promotions I like to watch. Unfortunately, they went out of business, but it was Anarchy Wrestling,
Oh
and I
yeah.
was like, I remember tuning into that every day, and learning about some of the future stars from that business. And I was like,
Right.
yeah, Georgia got it on lock, man. They definitely got it on lock.
Yeah, I mean, look at those guys like Parker Lee, big piece of one fall. And Duncan, he's all over the place. Aaron's all over the place. Like it's a lot of talent just in the southeast in general, bro. Like I've been moving around lately, from Tennessee to Florida, and I mean even North Carolina. Like there's so many different guys out there that are making names for themselves, and um, I think a lot of the haters don't understand that it's growing to where um, I didn't have to be the bigger piece. Like I took almost 2 years off, just to give those guys that light because they deserved it, and they earned it, and but I ain't dead, so it's a lot more stories to be told. There's a lot of more fights that I haven't had yet, for it to happen. So it's just it's a different method to my learning this time around, just because I'm starting all over again. I haven't really ever started over since I've been in the business, so it's pretty cool to feel it like this.
Yeah, man. Great, great that you made a comeback and whatnot. But I gotta ask you, man. You've been doing the solo thing for a hot minute, but you have one tag team that you had briefly. It was 5 years ago. It was the Right Way to Skrillville. So tell us, how did that come about? Like, what was like? How did you guys decide? Hey, let's collaborate and make something happen.
Well, it was kind of a similar situation. Like Mr. Wright came up to me and he was like, "Hey, man, I want to get into it," and I was like, "All right, cool, but you got to go against me first to see if you can hang." And he really brought it, and he kind of just really showed me he had what it take, and it was like looking in the mirror for a minute. So why not hang out with your twin, and shout out to him. He's now a tag team champion. He's done big things right now. But yeah, man, I've tried to maneuver myself with other people and align myself with other people, but it's kind of hard to do that and do your own thing, without kind of not so much egos, but the competitive standpoint of professional wrestling just kind of kicks in. And I mean, when you're matched up with a guy that is almost you, if not better than you, then it's not going to last that long. That guy's going to move on and do his own thing. I was with Tyler Stevens now, and me and him, we were in the New Testament at Deep South, and he kind of moved his own avenue. He went overseas and doing NWA and stuff like that. So it's never not that I've never been a team player. I've just always had to learn how to keep going, as QB1 for myself. So I'm not mad about it. And it is what it is. Who knows what the future may uphold, So
Yeah. So you mentioned Florida, which is another place that has a great wrestling scene. Tennessee, I've heard mixed reviews saying people, yeah, there is a good scene, there's not. What's the furthest you've gotten to go for wrestling? Have you gotten to go like more northeast, like towards the DMV area, the tri-state area, or have you gotten to go like Midwest, West Coast? Like, what's the furthest you've gone?
the furthest I've been is Texas.
Oh, okay.
I did Booker T's Reality of Wrestling,
Wow.
and that was pretty cool. We kind of started a thing with them with Deep South. That's something that we're probably going to spin the block on here soon. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Being in there with the locker room with Maven and Zilla Fatu and guys like that. So it was pretty cool. Me and Zilla still got unfinished business that hasn't happened yet, but we'll see. Maybe I'll catch him before he signs that big deal. But yeah, man, I've been out there. California's kind of calling next, and yeah, I'm just trying to reach out and expand the brand a little bit more.
Man, I can tell you when you get to California, because I've been there like several times, like more than 10 times.
Yeah.
Have you been there? Have you been there before? Like not in a wrestling capacity, but just in general?
Not at all, man. I've never really just been able to relax and kind of feel that yet, but that's definitely in the plan for sure.
When you get there, you're gonna like it. Trust me, it's gonna be like a different vibe from any other state you've been.
Heard.
That's the first. I remember when I was in the Navy. I was over in Oceanside,
Right.
and I was driving towards Camp Pendleton, and I saw like this is the first time. Me, I live in New York. I live in Brooklyn. So
Okay.
me
Okay.
now, when I'm actually heading towards the base now, I'm looking out on my side. I'm in the passenger side. I'm looking. I'm like, wait, are those actually houses? That's the
Right.
first time I ever saw a house on a hill. I was
Oh.
like, wow. Like, and it's funny because I always say California prepared me for Japan, which is another place I hope you get to. I
Wow,
don't know if you've been there already, but
man,
if you
that's
haven't, if you get booked over there,
on the list, brother. It's on the list.
if you get over there, two things I'll tell you. One, make sure you get your Ribera jacket. It's there's a official rite of passage. You probably know this, where wrestlers get their jackets from the steakhouse, and the food's pretty good there too.
Yep.
But
Yep.
also this,
I was around Luke Gallows and he had one. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
when you get over there, man, you're gonna love it, man. But I always say California prepared me for Japan because I was like, man, I live in New York. I've lived in Florida for 7 years. Did Chicago, did Texas,
Yeah.
California. Okay, I think California is the peak of my experiences. And
Yeah.
I know that nope, we ain't done with you yet. Japan got something to show you. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm thoroughly impressed.
Right. 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 Yeah.
But
That's the
sorry, go
plan.
ahead.
After Cali, definitely go overseas and do stuff. I heard that it's big in Canada, as well as the UK, and Australia and stuff like that. Man, I wanna maneuver through all that if I can.
I hope you get it, man. I really and truly hope you do because one thing if I give any wrestler, I can't give no advice whatsoever to any wrestler because obviously I'm not a wrestler. I mean,
Right.
I
Right.
barely hit the gym as much as I should,
Yeah.
but I barely do as much time as gym as I should.
Yeah.
But one thing I could tell any wrestler: if you can't go WWE, go worldwide.
Oh
Try
yeah.
your best to wrestle.
Oh yeah.
If not, if not worldwide, if you can't go, if you can go worldwide, fine, do it because
Yeah.
it's a great experience.
Yeah.
But if you can't go worldwide, go nationwide.
Right.
If you
Right.
can't go nationwide, go coastwide. But just go somewhere that's not in your area. Just try to, because you never know who's watching.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um,
Yeah.
I felt like the cool part about wrestling right now is that obviously that's the dream, but that's not the end all be all place. You can independent wrestling is so big right now, and there's some of the other majors that are allowing guys to also be on the indie scene. So it's a different day and time. Back then, it was like a fraternity. You couldn't really go over to the next house. You know what I'm saying? So now it's you can move around and kind of do your thing, and it's beautiful. And I think it's cool because for the guys that are coming up in Georgia wrestling, I don't have to take the spotlight from them guys. I have to show them that I can take it, but at the same time, I want those guys to be able to blossom and flourish. Because if I didn't plant my seeds and mine grow, then there's no point in letting those guys allowing them to be the gardeners right now. So I'm picking up my roses and taking my flowers and going elsewhere. So it's pretty cool, man, to see what's going on with independent wrestling. Like you said, like going back to the conversation earlier, like now I was doing deathmatch, and now that's one of the big things now. Just to see that all the stuff that was forbidden fruit when I first came in, now the doors are open for those kind of things. So I love that wrestling is now more like the music scene, if you will. Like it's very universal, and there's a genre for every, wrestling that you enjoy, whether it's deathmatch or whether it's Smash Mouth like Japan and New Japan and strong style of wrestling, or if you like technical, you can look at the Ring of Honors and the Defies, and you know what I'm saying. Like there's a genre for each part of wrestling that people can enjoy and or criticize, if you will. But that's what makes everything of it beautiful. So yeah, man, it's a great time. You know, even though 12 years, it's a great time to be in the game right now. You know.
Yeah, definitely, man. So you mentioned music, man. I gotta ask you, did you compose that track? Because that track's a bop, yo. Like I heard some wrestlers actually make their own
You,
music, which is a
you,
smart thing to do. When I
and
heard that, I was like, yo,
that's another thing. A lot of my friends have been like, "Bro, why haven't you done your own thing?" And um, you know, I didn't want to wear too many hats. I didn't want to make people feel like I was just trying to take all of the limelight. I get the ownership thing and all, but I also didn't forget where I came from. And you know, I remember a Big Sean line. He said, "Success really ain't success if you can't bring your friends to it." So you know, once I kind of started creating the name, I was getting like homegrown guys like Re-Up the Boss. He did majority of my entrance themes, and I hit up my homeboy C Rob, and he's done it before. And my homie White Mike, he had a song called Greatness, and it kind of meshed with what I had going on at the time. So it's just really in my mind, being that I had no idea that this was going to come to me, I'm not going to keep it like that. So I'm going to extend my hand as much as I can to people, even if they're not in the wrestling business. I want people to learn who this person is because he's full time rapping. I'm not. I'm on the wrestling scene. So if I'm not covering that up, then hey, you can hear my boy re up. Oh, who did that song? Now I can get you to listen to his music and the next person. So it's really just being all in with what I got going on in wrestling and just keeping my head towards that. Like you said, like just like being in the gym when I'm not in the gym, I go outside and I ground myself and I might run, you know, or if I can't make it to the gym, I'll do some push-ups or you know what I mean, just always staying active, even when I don't get to do certain things and learning other things like eating smarter and reading books even you know doing a lot more of that even though it's auto books I'm still you know expanding the brain
right,
and just it's just doing things I wasn't doing 12 years ago. You know, I'm like I said in the song, I'm not the man I was a year ago. I'm constantly like you said, I'm constantly elevating and trying to level up. And I try to tell people back home like that's you know because a lot of them kind of want you up under the thumb with them and it's like no man I gotta upgrade so I can show you that it can happen and you know it just makes it fun to me. It makes it fun. It shows the appreciation of life and how you can take the worst thing and make it the best thing. It's really cool sometimes, even you know through the madness and all the heartache we go through daily. You know, at the end of the day, when you can lay in that bed and feel like nothing was done in vain, and you can appreciate it even through the bad shit through the day, man. It's still fun, and you can't wait to wake up and do it again. You know.
yeah, man. I've always told people, in life is meant for you to move onward or upward. You can't be in the same place all the time. What you did, the way you even thought process has changed. I mean, what the way you thought 10 years ago, you're not gonna think the same way now. And even Triple H, I'll never forget this one thing Triple H said. He said, if you're still thinking the same way you did 10 years ago, whether you're 30 and you're thinking 20 years, or whether you're 40 and still thinking the same way you did when you were 30, then you messed up. And
Mm-hmm.
you got to change that, So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's definitely a great thing. So I got to ask you, speaking of elevating, man, let's say, okay, so 11, 12 years in the game. By the way, thank you for all that you've done. 12 years in the game, man. Let's say you got a guy, or guys, they're doing their thing on the in the backyard wrestling, right? And they heard your story. and then they come to you and they ask you, yo, Skrilla, yo, they see a match, like, yo, Skrilla, yo, that music was a bop, man. Yo, that entrance theme was a hit, yo. I'm
Yeah,
pumped. And the
yeah,
crowd was behind you. Yo, you were the man in that match, man. And they were like, they want to get out of the backyard scene and take the next step to the indie scene
right.
and then eventually go citywide, statewide, nationwide. You
Yeah,
know, what advice would you give those young men or women that are looking to elevate themselves and, you know, possibly have a longer career in professional wrestling?
man, get properly trained. That's the key. That's something I wish I was able to do when I first started. You know, I didn't really know the right way, but it wasn't meant for me to learn it that way. It was meant for me to do it this way, so I could be an example of what said thing that needs to be done. Um, and it's funny you said that because I had that moment. You know, Scott Armstrong came to Georgia at one point, and
Okay.
he uh, he did a seminar, and he was like, "Man, get some of your guys to come out." And you know, a lot of the like the passionate indie guys, they were really busy, so they couldn't make it. And so my backup plan was to hit up all my guys in the backyard. And so I hit up the guys that I knew in the backyard. Those guys came. They came and learned from Scott Armstrong. Um, Scott Armstrong kind of gave me, you know, awesome pointers about, you know, just caring about those guys and hitting those guys up to convert to him and try to help those guys learn some things. And it helped. It honestly helped me get other opportunities because once I did that, then Scott Armstrong sent me to Road Dog, and Road Dog kind of came in and helped a little bit. And I dare say that I wouldn't have got that match with Lexus King while he was under contract with NXT if it wasn't for those guys. So shout out to the Armstrongs and helping me with that. But yeah, it's all about just giving them the resources that they need to get to the next level, um, and not so much showing them the hard way. Because you know I would grew up around the generation where they were like, you know, we went through the struggle, so you gotta see what the struggle feels like a little bit. But you know, my philosophy is kind of like I went through that. I am the example of the struggle, and being that I have the resources to keep you from going through that, I want to keep you from going through that because I still have to continue to create that avenue and merge that lane for other guys like you. I can't be out here struggling with you if I can't get you out of it. So yeah, that really helped um, a lot of other guys, and there's guys that I brought along with me, and those guys like Jay Shaw, like he's a champion in Georgia now, and it was cool to see him post the billboard of PCW. We got a show tomorrow, and you know they got him on the billboard. He never would have thought that he would have been on one of the biggest billboards in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, the late electric billboard, just kind of showing the flyer. And I just remember that guy being in the backyard, and he was just like kind of up under my wing trying to figure this thing out. So it was a cool moment to see that for myself. Like, man, I helped build that avenue for that guy to get there. So, you know, I take pride in that too, as I'm getting closer to the days of where I'm going to just put them boots up and continue to just, you know, lead the way outside of the ring and show these guys the ropes, and I'll be their trainer. That's an ultimate goal as well. So yeah, just find the nearest person that's something. If it ain't me, someone close, and just get properly trained and keep your eyes and ears open. Close your mouth and learn something. Um, and just be able to deal with the hardships because they come and go, and just be prepared to give it your all because it damn sure don't happen overnight. Um, it took a long time to get where I am today. So yeah, man. I encourage anybody to just get to the nearest school and invest in yourself. That's primarily the main goal, is to be able to invest in yourself, to be able to take pride in the things that you learn from them people, and just keep moving forward, bro.
So what y'all just got there, y'all just got some advice from a man who is a 12-year veteran in professional wrestling. And not just a 12-year veteran, a two-time Deep South Wrestling heavyweight.
Yeah.
No, you laughed. In my eyes, Deep South Wrestling, and the one thing I hope, and Nick Patrick, I hope you're listening. No offense, but can we please get a weekly episodic show of DSW? You guys are just as good as OVW, and you deserve that spotlight. So please make it happen like a captain and get DSW on a local network on YouTube. I'll watch. I'll make sure I tune in every week it shows up. But please, can we get y'all more of y'all on a weekly episodic format?
Well,
Um,
not to break kayfabe or nothing, but his mother just got out of the ICU, so he's going through a lot right now, and
oh, my bad, my bad. I didn't
he-
know. My apologies, Nick.
just I just want people to know that it is coming, and we're doing our best to create an avenue for that to happen while he's going through his things at home, and everybody just keep him in his thought in your thoughts, and just keep a prayer if you do that thing too. Yeah, he's doing his best with us, and shouts out to him. Nick has done a whole lot in my career, and I really appreciate it. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, but at the end of the day, man, that man loves wrestling, and he takes pride in his brand, and he wants to make sure that everybody that's on the roster does the same. Yeah, so we take pride in Deep South because we know how prestigious it is, and yeah, uh, yeah, just keep them in your prayers and in your thoughts, and yeah, we getting there, we getting there. I know OVW just kind of got their developmental thing. Ain't no telling you, you never know what's gonna come out from Deep South. You just never know. And
I'm
like you said,
I'm
got guys in from NWA and all over the place right now. So we just never know.
yeah.
We always bring in everybody. We had Lexus King NXT guy. We had James Storm, ex TNA guy. Kofi and Xavier are free agents right now. You just never know. They might pop up. You never know.
I'm hoping, man, because like I said, I know DSW has a lot of potential, and I'm not just saying this because you're on my show, you're in front of me right now. Like I've always said, DSW has the
Yep.
DSW, and this is going to be some people might be a bit might find what I'm saying is a bit controversial.
Yep.
In my heart, I think DSW has the potential to be as big as reality wrestling and OVW. I'm gonna say it. I know
Absolutely.
they could do it.
If not better. If not better.
Yeah.
And that's not a shot at them, but um, I felt the atmosphere. What was it? This past Saturday, the atmosphere was so different to where um, that was the first time where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to bring it every time I'm in this locker room or every time I'm in this ring because it is just very A plus and top tier guys in that locker room. So once it does hit the TV, it's going to definitely move some needles, if you will. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Deep South grow to what it deserves to be. And I'm glad I'm coming in right at the right time for that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. Like I said, Georgia deserves it. I've interviewed so many talents, so many impressive people across the board, whether it was from Nightmare Factory, whether it was from the four WA
Right,
four,
right.
or
Oh, yeah.
anywhere
Oh,
else.
oh, yeah.
Um,
Man,
you know,
and you got one fall. One fall is just as big as OVW and reality of wrestling right now. PCW, which is Platinum Championship Wrestling. They're a dark horse that is now growing and is getting some light. There's so many places that's really NAWA. Like I said, they brought in Nick Nemeth and they got Draco Starks and Alexander Lev, and there's so many places that are like, hey, we're here. And they they kind of remind me of Outcast in '95 when they said, the South got something to say, and that's a lot of these promotions in Georgia right now, bro. They are really cooking with some grease right now.
Oh yeah, trust me. I only been there. I can tell you, I only been there. I'd say 4 times in my life,
Yeah.
four times,
Uh,
and I could tell you, Georgia's a vibe,
yes.
Atlanta's a vibe. I
Yes.
don't like going there too much because every time I say, "Yo, I'm gonna be a good guy," I'm a foodie. Every time I go there, I come back 10 pounds heavier. Y'all got me with that peach cobbler for a second. I'm like, "Yo, damn it, I was gonna be a good boy." I go
Yeah.
back another time. I had me
Yep.
some jambalaya, and I wasn't even in New Orleans. I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna try to fight it. Atlanta's that place.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, y'all a whole vibe, man. I mean that in a good way.
Boy, the food is incredible. Jamaican food. The oxtails are really like the premier thing right now. The oxtails are going crazy right now. The lemon pepper wings are always on point. And we got we got FIFA in town right now for the World Cup stuff.
Oh,
So
right, right.
you seeing the French guys like posting they don't want to go back home because they loving the lemon pepper wings and going to Magic City and seeing the women there, and Atlanta's a whole
Strong.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's what's so cool about. I be trying to tell people like I know we going through a lot as a country right now, but to see people coming from a whole different country coming over here saying they don't want to leave is really it's a really big prop for us to really enjoy. Like US is nothing like any other country in the world, bro. And just to see that, just the small thing of they're loving the lemon pepper wings and how they loving the food out here to where they don't even want to go home. That says a lot about us as a country, not just Atlanta or Georgia. But it's cool to see that too. It's real cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. So I gotta say, man, Skrilla, you know, first off, 12 years in the game, man. And by the way, for those y'all that just heard, y'all, the man mentioned some great promotions: Platinum
Yeah,
Championship Wrestling,
yeah,
Nawa. You got One Fall.
yeah,
You got WWA 4.
yeah.
Y'all, if you are a wrestling fan and you're visiting Atlanta, Georgia, check them out. And if you're a
Ren-
wrestling fan and you're
Renegade,
in,
Renegade Independent Pro Wrestling. They just did like a when Kanye West premiered the his album. They were wrestling while they was doing the premiere. Man, like it's so much going on out here, bro.
yeah,
And it like you said, to the advice of those guys that are trying to get into it, especially if you're in Georgia, bro. You can take any of those places you could go to, and you can lock in and you won't have to worry about it. The opportunities are definitely going to come, as you can see. Just giving you examples of stuff that's going on out here. So yeah,
right, yeah. So for those of you, like I said, make sure if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, make sure you check out those promotions. That Skrilla just mentioned.
yeah,
You will not be bored. You're gonna enjoy yourself. Make sure y'all check it out. If you're a wrestling fan, if you're just a WWE fan, still check them out because you never know who the next big star, who the next signee for WWE or even AEW is gonna
yeah.
come out from. I mean, come on, you got guys like Sean Legacy that came from Georgia. He signed
Yep.
there. You got this other guy. He was AEW, Anthony Henry, great
Yep.
guy
Mm-hmm.
who's given
Mm-hmm.
a lot of great advice too. Y'all check him out on Instagram. Who's from Georgia now in AEW.
AR Fox,
You know,
AR Fox runs
you
WWA
got
4. Just recently
yeah,
had the Ring of Honor title. You
yeah,
got
you got AR Fox there too.
I was about to say QT Marshall runs one fall. Um,
Yeah,
you got Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson making their run in Georgia right now. With Luke Gallows, his son is also gracing the stage, and then you just had AJ Styles' son.
Avery
That
Styles.
Avery Styles is like it's so much going on. You just had Matt Cardona out here not too long ago. I mean, it's always something going on in Georgia wrestling. You're going to see the guys you see on TV. That's no question. We got Carly Bravo out here. I mean, I could be naming names
Yeah.
like it's incredible. It's incredible. You got Cruel from MLW. I mean, it's
Ooh, that guy. Woo, that guy is no joke.
no joke, no joke. You
That
know,
guy is no joke. He reminds me of this other guy, Raiden the Destroyer. I don't know if he still wrestles. I haven't seen him in a bit, but
yeah,
Raiden used to be in he was a graduate of the Nightmare Factory. I think it was
mm,
Camp 3 or Camp 4, one of the camps.
yeah,
But yeah, y'all check out y'all do not sleep on Georgia. It's a great wrestling scene. Make sure y'all check it out. A lot of
absolutely. I
history behind it.
dare say the next set of indie guys that do make it, like guys like Jay Alpha and Hakeem Young. I dare say, man, so many guys I can name, but a next set of class from Georgia is gonna get signed, man. I can smell it. I was out in the atmosphere. These guys are really really hungry, um, and I like the fact that I don't really need the spotlight like that, but to know that I did have the spotlight and those major promotions are still looking at me when I step out. They also get to see the other guys as well. So it's cool, even if I don't get signed and I just get to expand the brand. It's cool to see that they're also like, oh, Skrilla's there, but oh, there's J Alpha Miller. He's a young guy. We might be looking for a young guy. Let's push him to the moon. So it's cool to see that, bro. I love it. I love Georgia wrestling as a whole, and I wouldn't change it for nothing, man.
Yeah, man. So I gotta say, man, 12 years, if you haven't heard it before, um, from anybody, you're gonna hear from us from here at Ringside Side for the first time. And if you've heard it before, then I guess you're gonna probably hear it for the 100,000, millionth time. Thank you for all the matches and memories that you've given us. I know
Absolutely.
12 years is a lot in professional wrestling. I know it wasn't easy, but we really and truly appreciate it, and we're grateful that you're still back with us. And we hope you get to meet all your goals in pro wrestling, and all that great stuff. And best believe, if we see you get signed on WB or AEW, we'll be like, yo, Skrilla made it, man. We just had him on our show. Trust me,
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
give you a list of people that we've had on this show. I mean, we had Roxanne Perez, we've had Maya World, you
There
know,
you go.
Brent Sinclair. I'm
There
just
you go.
saying, best believe when I saw they got something, like, yo, yeah.
So that means you know what talent look like, and you know what it looks like before it happens, and
But
that's
but
a
here's the
good
thing about me though.
that's a good
I don't
eye.
even look at that. I'm just like, my whole thought process is, if you go in that ring to give us a show, we want to
Right.
talk to you. It doesn't matter whether you had 1,000 matches or one match. And we've had
Absolutely.
people on here that have had one match, and we made a show out of them just out of that one. We've made a show with just out of that one match.
There you
So
go. That's beautiful. That's a
it's
beautiful.
just a matter of, like, you went in there, you risk it all just to
Yeah.
meet your goals and entertain us, the fans. And we at Ringside Society, we don't have a lot of money, we don't have a big lucrative contract, but I feel like this is the most we could do is just have people like you on our show, men and women that contribute to the business on our show, to tell their stories, and that's it. I
I
mean,
always I
that's
always
pretty
try
much what it is.
I always try to tell people that support doesn't always have to be financial. It's so easy to show your support nowadays. All you gotta do is click one button, and it takes 1 second just to do it, just to share or like or what I'm saying, repost or requote or retweet. Like it's so easy to show support nowadays, bro. You don't have to be at every show. Just seeing that, you share that you watch this match, or what I'm saying, it's so easy for people to show support. and I don't think people understand that nowadays. But I think we're leaning into the right direction. And like I said, if I told my friend the other day, if it ended all today, I would be grateful as hell. I mean, I've graced the cover of Sports Illustrated. I've been in a movie with Mick Foley and Jake the Snake. I was on heels. I mean, I've been in the ring with guys that have been on TV. If it ended all today, I would definitely be grateful. But being that it isn't, I'm going to keep pursuing those moments and those matches that create those moments and matches that you guys would love too. So I'm nothing without y'all support, and I want to continue to give you reasons to support me and to watch and to be a fan of not only me but Georgia wrestling and professional wrestling as a whole. If I can continue to contribute, I'm damn sure gonna give it a mile, brother.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, y'all make sure that y'all tune in to Georgia wrestling, man. Like I said, you will not be bored. It is a great vibe, and you never know who the next. And like I said, I could tell y'all right now, I've been watching for 36 years. Ain't no shame in my game.
Woo,
I've seen it happen. So yeah,
woo.
take
And
it for somebody like me. You
36,
know,
that's crazy. I just turned 39, so that tells you in itself. Everybody that's watching right now, that tell you in itself. He know what he talking about.
yeah. I grew up where it was just so when I first started, it was just wrestling on Saturday, wrestling on Sunday. I didn't have the cool parents that ordered the pay-per-views. So I either heard
Right.
about it from my friends the next day at school, or I
Right.
whenever WB decided they were gonna show the stills from the pay-per-view, that's when I
Yeah.
saw it. Other than that, that was it. And now you have it like everywhere.
Yeah.
So y'all fans today, those y'all that are watching like after the 90s, y'all know how good y'all got it, man. Trust me, y'all don't know.
Ooh, ooh. It was so hard back in them days. It was so
Yeah, yeah,
hard.
man.
I had to take one and try to watch the other one live, and oh man, that was crazy. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I wasn't fortunate enough um, to have a wrestling family, so my family was not buying the pay per views. I would have to find a friend that had a friend that would be, watching it, and we go over their house and watch it or something like that. But you know, in the world I grew up in, you were a nerd if you love wrestling, so it's cool though.
yeah.
I I love being different though. Don't get it twisted. I enjoy being different. At first, growing up, I was like, okay, I, it's some Toy Story shit. I'm Andy, and wrestling is the toy that I don't play with anymore. But hell, Buzz Lightyear done made me come back and play with the toy of wrestling again. So it's fun,
Yeah.
bro. It's
Well,
fun.
now these days, if somebody says you watch that fake stuff, I'm like, okay, you watch Star Wars, right? You think that's really you think that's real? You think there's
Right.
somebody in a floating ship that is, dressed in all black with a chip on his shoulder, or you watch Marvel? Okay, you think there's a guy that turns into a big green strong guy when he gets mad, or a guy running around in a American uniform throwing frisbee at people? Like, I mean, people like
I,
what they like, man. I
I
mean,
keep trying to
it's
tell
what it
people.
is.
I keep trying to tell people. You can say it's scripted. You can say it's predetermined. Whatever you want to say, because 9 times out of 10, something they watch is the same damn way. And I mean in both, whether it's scripted or predetermined, they watch something in the same manner. The only difference is with us, we don't have stunt doubles. I'm really taking the chair shots. I'm really jumping off the ladders and feeling it the next day and barely want to go to work the next day because I'm not signed. So this isn't my everyday job. I gotta get up. If I got a match Sunday, I gotta get up Monday morning, bruised ribs and broken nose and banged up knee here and there. Like I still have to get up and deal with these pains and be an everyday person or everyday father or an everyday employee. Like this is not a game, and I I just want people to not so much to where they have to support it, but I do want them to respect and appreciate what we do a little bit more. Like it's the 12 years I've been in the game. I've dealt with a lot of injuries. I've dealt with a lot of sleepless nights because of the injuries. I've dealt with a lot of guilt and underappreciation because I've chose to continue to do this even with the critics in my ear. So
Right.
I'm in my TI phase with this. I would die about the respect of wrestling. I would definitely um, bring it to the threshold and show you that yeah, this is what I do. Do you have a problem with it? Why you got a problem with it? This is real as it gets. Come get in the ring with me for 2 minutes. See how long you last in there. Not even, not even on no shoot shit. It's this on just showing you how to do the little stuff. Let's see how long you can sit in you can sit in the headlock in 95 degree weather. Let's see how long you can go and still do the running back and forth. Let's see how long you'll keep up.
Oh yeah.
I love to challenge the person that criticizes the game and not think it's real. Everything we do in there is real. I mean, a lot of people like try to test our might, but man,
No.
we have the discipline, bro. We have the discipline. We know what we're doing in there. We trying to make our money,
Yeah.
um, and I try not to get caught up in the noise as much as I used to in the past.
Yeah, that's why we do things like this, because we have an idea, you know, what you guys go through, or
Yep.
somewhat of an idea. So that's why we do all this,
Yep.
to
Yep.
give you guys, a bit of a spotlight, a bit of a chance to tell your stories. That's why when I say things like, "Oh, it's not about me," yeah, it's not about me. I mean, I could get off here to, I could be like, I'm not going to do the show today. I'm gonna have one of my other co-hosts do it. But you guys are the focal point. It's
Well,
definitely not.
I had, and I'm gonna make this short because I know we gotta wrap it up. But I had this conversation with my grandmother one point. I love her to death, and she kind of got onto me like I think it was like year 8 or year 9, and I had like I think my nose was broke at that point, and she's just like, "Why are you doing this? Like, why are you putting yourself through this? You're beating yourself up, and you're gonna end up like me with having to have surgery." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, what you mean? How I'm gonna end up like you?" Because we're doing something completely different. You worked at Walmart 23 and a half years just on your feet all day and doing your job, your duty, and you were on your feet all day, or you were sitting at a desk and you still had to have back surgery, and you still had to have those surgeries, and you're not even doing nothing that I'm doing, nowhere near. So why wouldn't I take the risk even more of doing something I love to do? And she understood it in a different light at that point. Like, wow, okay, okay, son, I see how you flip that. Not even trying to, but I could be at a 9 to 5 and be there all the time, but that's just helping somebody else, chase their dream, and this is my dream, and I'm willing to deal with the injuries that come with it. So yeah, that's Skrilla the Great in a nutshell, man. Um, wow,
Yeah.
I just try to
So
just keep going, bro. Just try to keep going. That's all I can do.
yeah. But yeah, man. So once again, thank you for all you do. Really and
Yeah,
truly appreciate it.
yeah.
Before it's, I always say, it's about that time, but how it's dark and it's about bedtime, but it's still summertime. It's still nice outside, even
Look,
though
I
it's
felt
100 degrees over here in New
close.
York.
We getting close. I feel that feeling.
But hey, before we wrap this up, man, Skrilla, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out when next appearances, purchase, Skrilla the Great merchandise? And where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
Man, I'm currently the website that I had for all my merch is now under construction. We're literally flushing everything that we had down the toilet, and we're starting things new. So that's coming soon. But you can always just search Skrilla the Great in any social media you have. YouTube is Skrilla the Great Wrestling. If you want to hit me up for booking information, it is skrilladelphia@gmail.com. And yeah, man, buckle up. It's gonna be a wild ride, bro. So get ready to be on the Skrill ride because it's coming soon.
Awesome. So y'all just heard the man. Make sure you go ahead and give him a follow. Whenever that Skrilla merch drops, make sure you cop it. If you can't make the shows that he's at, that's another way you could support is by purchasing that merchandise. And that way, when he gets signed by AEW or WWE or he goes on his tour to Japan or Australia, wherever, and then some jabroni comes up and like, yo,
Yeah,
I got the new Skrilla merch. I'm like,
there,
you could be like, man, I got his stuff from when he was on the Indies over here in Georgia, man. I'm a real fan, you know what I'm saying?
there you
So
there
go
you
ahead and
go.
cop that merch.
There you go. That's real right there, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. So with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time to get some dinner. But before I go get some dinner, if y'all want to follow me, those of you watching and listening, if y'all want to follow me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but I do go to a lot of cool places. I just wrapped up a trip in Japan last month. Gonna go to Indonesia possibly in September. Hopefully everything works out. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at the Remy Blue. Facebook is the same thing, Remy Blue. Type in and you'll see me. I'm also on Blue Sky as well as Remy Blue. You guessed it. And last but not least, more importantly, we're on social media. Our podcast is on social media. So listen closely, listen carefully. Ringside Society. We're on Twitter. Well, you know what? I'm gonna give y'all exclusive. We're on Twitter. It's Ringside Society, but with a zero for the O. Our last Twitter got hacked. To those that tried to hack us, congratulations. You played yourself. We ain't going anywhere for a while. Professional wrestling needs us, and we're here to stay. So,
That's right.
we're on Twitter. We're back on Twitter. You got that exclusive right there. So go ahead and follow us there. However, our other links, we're also on Instagram, and Instagram is at Ringside Society. Ringside Society is the same thing for Blue Sky. We're also on Facebook as a Facebook group, and we're also on Spotify and Teespring, where we sell our official Ringside Society merchandise. We have T-shirts, we have hoodies, we even have coffee mugs to put your favorite beverage in, whether it's coffee, hot chocolate, or hey, maybe a nice soft drink, or maybe an adult beverage. We have that available for you. And we're also starting our In Your City series, where we're actually going to be dropping our logo in certain in city colors. We already got the New Orleans one up and popping. We're working on one for LA and San Francisco, and also Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. And we're gonna try to work on one for Atlanta. We're trying to figure out the colors for Atlanta, but we're gonna make that happen. But
Go.
yeah, make sure you check us out on Teespring. All proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where you can see cool interviews like this one, like the one we had with Brian Blaze and De La Vega. You can find all those great interviews on YouTube, and to see them, it's really simple.
Shout out my boy De La Vega.
De La Vega, yeah, man. Yo, De La Vega, I saw that reclusive spider drawing you did. Make that a Comic Con Kickstarter, and I'm gonna back it. Let's
There
make
you
that
go.
happen like a captain, bro. I think there's potential with that. But
Man, he's
yeah,
hell of a artist, man.
oh yeah, I seen it. Trust me, I told him like, bro, you should definitely make that a comic book, man. But yeah, to see all those interviews, man, just go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society. Once you see that really good looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. Make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. Thank you very much. We are grateful. We appreciate you. We always will appreciate you. We don't do this for us. We do this for y'all and the men and women that contribute to professional wrestling. So thank you to those y'all that are going to listen later on. We get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we go away. Well, like myself at the Golden Corral, or heck, like myself at a soul food spot in Atlanta, Georgia, we ain't going anywhere for a while. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well and aware. We see it. Everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast, but we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. So with that being said, I'm gonna say it right now. One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for the Georgia wrestling scene, and one time for the 12-year pro, two-time Deep South wrestling heavyweight champion, Skrilla the Great. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. We'll be back next week with another impressive guest, another impressive episode. But until then, we just have 4 favors for y'all. As a matter of fact, 5 favors for y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, enjoy wrestling, and have a happy and safe 4th of July, y'all. One love. We out of here. Peace.